Hey guys and gals, I'm Emma, and I'm 18 years old. I love my friends a lot, and I take my friendships very seriously, but I feel pretty guilty about what I did to my best friend and crush, Derek. You see, I pretended to be gay to save myself from being humiliated in front of him. I'm sure many of you have been there. So there's this guy, Derek. He's perfect. He's smart, funny, good looking, and oh yeah, he's one of my best friends. We grew up together as neighbors, and when we were kids, he would come over to my house and we would play, wrestle, and watch sports together. He always saw me as one of his bros, but it didn't bother me much when we were young. As time went on, and as I grew older, I started developing feelings for him. I was still a friend to him, I could tell. I mean, I wasn't very girly to start with. I always had short, messy hair, always played sports, and loved wrestling. I wasn't into super girly things like going to the mall, clothes, and gossiping about drama. But somehow, I got thrown into the middle of some teen drama. You see, I wasn't the only girl that liked Derek. He was incredibly popular in our school. His good looks earned him a lot of attention from all the girls. And one girl in particular was really aggressive. Her name was Bianca, and she was your typical girly girl. She wore a lot of makeup and was one of the most popular girls in school. And she absolutely loved drama. She asked Derek out, and next thing you know, they're boyfriend and girlfriend. It happened so quickly. Who knows if Derek was even into it? Anyways, things were about to change very fast now that Bianca was in his life. Bianca wouldn't leave his side. She was always taking pictures of them together and posting them on the internet. She took him to the mall to show him off in front of her friends, and she tried to forbid him from having any contact with other females. Derek and I had been friends since, forever, and I wasn't going down that easy. We still managed to find time to hang out, and Derek always made time for me. But one day, he brought Bianca over to my house after school, thinking we could be friends. But like hell that was gonna happen. Derek and I turned on the TV to watch our favorite show, WrestleMania, and Bianca just sat there on the couch playing with her phone. It felt like old times. We laughed together and even wrestled a bit on the floor to see who was the strongest. I won, but I knew he went easy on me. Bianca just rolled her eyes, but I could tell something else was up. The next day at school, Bianca approached me alone at the lunch area. She slammed her hands on the table and looked at me for what felt like a really long time. She said, "You like Derek, don't you?" I was shocked. I didn't know what to say. How did she know? Her eyes narrowed, and she told me, "I never liked you. You better stay away from Derek, or else I'm gonna tell him you have a crush on him." I panicked. Derek could never know. It would be so embarrassing, especially because he has a girlfriend. Would he think I'm trying to ruin everything? In my panic, I blurted out, "Bianca, that's crazy because I'm gay." She was taken aback. She looked surprised, and she said, "Oh, that's surprising, but somehow I'm also not surprised. I guess it's fine that you and Derek hang out then. He would never be attracted to you anyway, and you wouldn't like him either." She flipped her hair and walked away. I felt like an idiot. How was I going to pretend I was gay? At least she wouldn't tell anyone, I hope. But it turns out she did. She told Derek immediately, and Derek called me to ask if it was true. I lied and told him I was gay and had known I was gay for a while, but just didn't come out yet. He said that he still accepts me, of course, and wants to stay best friends. He asked me if I wanted to come over and watch more WrestleMania at his house. He told me Bianca was fine with us being friends, so she wasn't gonna come. Besides, wrestling was boring to her anyway. I went over to Derek's for dinner. His parents always liked me. They fed us some dinner, and we went upstairs to his room to watch the WrestleMania marathon. I was so excited to finally have some alone time with Derek. We were laughing so hard and copying all of our favorite moves. I grabbed him in a chokehold like one of those moves on TV, and suddenly we start wrestling again. He pins me on the ground, but this time he's not going easy on me. I give it my all, and after a few minutes I tap out. He won, and we were both really sweaty from all that wrestling. He laughs and said, "I was shocked to hear you were gay, but I actually kind of enjoy it. It's like having a little brother, and I never have to worry about something getting in the way of our friendship." I nervously agree, and part of me is really sad about it. He starts taking off his clothes and tells me he needs to change into new clothes, but he doesn't leave the room. Suddenly, he's only in his underwear, and I can see everything. I never imagined I would ever in my life see Derek without clothes on, and I forgot about all my sadness and just enjoyed the view. I went home feeling a bit confused. I mean, I was enjoying being his gay best friend because it definitely had its benefits. But I couldn't help but also feel guilty, like I was lying to my best friend. Derek found me at school the next day and said he had some exciting news. He said he had someone for me, a girl he knew that was also gay, but had trouble finding someone. He said that he would introduce us and we could go on a double date together. I said okay. I mean, things were going well between me and Derek, and it kept Bianca off my back, so I agreed. That night, I arrived at the restaurant and saw a really nice girl sitting at the table with Derek and Bianca. She introduced herself as Quinn. She was not what I was expecting. She was actually really pretty, had dark black hair like Derek did. She reminded me a bit of Derek as well. Anyways, the night went on and me and Quinn actually got along really well. Even though she didn't like wrestling, she liked reading and playing sports and spent time volunteering with the elderly. She was really interesting, and we had so much in common. Even though we were fake dating, I actually really enjoyed her company. I started spending more time with Quinn. We would go on walks together. I introduced her to wrestling, and she recommended some good books for me to read. Sometimes we would just hang out at her house in total silence, and it was comforting to know that she was there. As time went on, I spent less time stressing about who I was in my relationship to Derek, and more time thinking about Quinn. Did I just like her as a friend, though? I was confused. Was I actually physically attracted to her? And would that mean I was actually gay? After several months of hanging out with Quinn, I was still sorting through my feelings. But Quinn was ready to move forward. She came over one day and she said she wanted to take things to the next level. We were up in my room hanging out, but I could sense she felt a little bit nervous and awkward. She then started taking off her clothes and tried to kiss me. I didn't exactly push her away. Part of me enjoyed it. Part of me felt guilt and confusion. Am I gay? Maybe I'm bi and I just didn't know it? Maybe I'm in love with both Derek and Quinn?